all right? These songs are for people to sing. Do me a favor, please. Turn to the person next to you and say, I can't wait to hear you sing.
I can't wait to hear you sing.
Yeah, I saw the eye rolling in the back. I saw that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where the bases are, but
yes.
Thank you.
There's no section.
I mean, we had so many years where, well, you know,
Right on, Craig.
I'm not leading this today. But, you know, we had so many years in protests where it would be speech after speech. Remember those years? After speech, after speech. You know, we were sort of going, what happened to all that great singing we did during civil rights time? Well, singing is back. Somebody say, amen.
Amen.
Singing is back, but we all have to do it, all right?
Yeah.
So, all right, here we go.
Let's do this.
We are the movement, liberation moving for every single human. We have come to win.
That's why we sing.
We are the movement, liberation moving for every single human. We have come to win.
For all our children.
We are the movement, liberation moving for every single human. We have come to win.
It's time to heal.
They are the movement, liberation moving for every single human. We have come to win.
I know you know.
We are the movement, liberation moving for every single human. We have come to win.
You feel our soul.
We are the movement, liberation moving for every single human. We have come to win.
You sing with me.
They are the movement, liberation moving for every single human. We have come to win.
For all you people.
We are the movement, liberation moving for every single human. We have come to win.
In one voice.
We are the movement, liberation moving for every single human. We have come to win. Thank you, Kim, for that.
Okay, I am Janet Gollery McKithen. I'm the minister here at the church in Ocean Park. Woo! Yeah. You know, this is an interesting place, and if you came here to see Edgar Allan Poe and you're walking up the stairs and instead you saw somebody like that or somebody like that, you might be wondering if you're actually welcome here. You know, you came to see Edgar Allan. You didn't come to, you know, whatever, what is this? But we are multi-faith, so you are welcome if you're Hindu, Buddhist, Muslim, Ifa, Christian, atheist, or some combination or something else altogether. We understand that some people have been hurt by organized religion, so the reason that we do this is so that you realize that you actually really are welcome here. You're welcome if you're single, married, widowed, divorced, gay, transgender, non-binary, very rich, or living on the edge. We welcome you if you're fidgety, or if you have to get up and go get more coffee, or walk around a little bit, or if you're very focused, or you just woke up, or just got out of jail. We don't care if you're more religious than the Pope, but let's hear it for the Pope sometime. I haven't been to the mosque since before the pandemic. We welcome soccer moms, tree huggers, latte sippers, vegans, junk food eaters, those in recovery, and those still addicted. We welcome you no matter what your journey has been or where you are right now. We welcome you if you like organized religion or if you are repelled by it. We especially like you if welcome you if you're standing in the need of prayer. If you've been hurt by a religious community and are here very cautiously and are about to run out the door, we hope you instead will stay here and find it a place of healing and of hope. We welcome you if you're having problems or if you're soaring on the wings of eagles, or a little bit of both. Welcome to the church in Ocean Park. We are a multi-religious community that's focused on creating a more sustainable and equitable world for all. So we do have many different facets that are in the community working for social justice. We want to begin by acknowledging that we are currently sitting on stolen land. This land that we sit on today was taken violently from the Chumash, the Quiche, and the Tongva peoples. We acknowledge the harms of genocide, forced assimilation, enslavement, and destruction at the hands of U.S. settler colonialism. We also acknowledge our communities and our country was built on the backs of people who were stolen from Africa, placed into bondage, and forced into labor. And we benefit from that labor that has never been repaid. We also acknowledge that we have allowed an authoritarian government to take root in our country. I don't have to tell you that. That people are being kidnapped off of our streets and disappeared, and fear is rampant. We also realize that and acknowledge that we are responsible for destroying cultures and lives in other countries as well. And our tax dollars are funding wars around the world. In our acknowledgement, let us commit ourselves to healing by helping to create a more just and equitable world, no matter how difficult, no matter the cost, because people's lives are at stake. We all have biases, and it takes intentionality to build compassion for people whose lives are different from ours. And at the church in Ocean Park, we are intentional about listening and hearing from people who have different life experiences than ourselves. And this morning, there is always a chance for community sharing. And so you may hear from somebody something that hits you wrong or that you disagree with. And just know that your opinion is just as important as whoever just spoke, no matter if this is your first time here or you've been here many times before. You are just as much a part of this community. Matter of fact, now you are a part of the church in Ocean Park. You walked in the door. So welcome to the church in Ocean Park. Thank you for bending the arc toward justice. We begin with the Thich Nhat Hanh chant. We take a deep breath. It's I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now 3 times. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. Welcome to the church in Ocean Park. We're glad you're here.
Peace, 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 peace. Wars have been, wars must cease. We must learn to live together. Peace, peace, peace. And I know some people are saying, I haven't sung that since Girl Scouts, way back when. But the words are still nice and easy. Peace, peace, peace. Wars have come, wars have come, wars must cease, wars must cease. We must learn to live together. Peace, peace, peace. Sing it again. Peace, 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 peace. Wars have come, wars must cease. We must learn to live together. Peace, peace. Now I hear some people ready to sing it in a round. Ready? You all start over there, and then you'll come in. Ready, go. Peace, 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 peace. Wars have come, wars must cease. We must learn to live together. Peace, peace, peace. One more time. Go. Peace, 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 peace. Wars have come, wars must cease. We must learn to live together. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace.
All right. Dr. Bradley Dobbs holds a PhD in physics from UCLA and a BS in physics from Harvey Mudd College. He has a long career researching laser and electro-optical physics in the Los Angeles area. Currently as senior scientist at Intelligent Optical Systems in Gardena. Outside of work, he performs poetry and gives lectures on physics for non-scientists. He has been portraying Edgar Allan Poe for over 10 years and is giving his presentation in costume and character as Poe. Welcome to Edgar Allan Poe.
Good morning. My name is Poe. The title of my, I see many quizzical faces among you, and I know what it is. I get this a great deal. You're all thinking, isn't he dead? Yes, I too have heard the rumors, but I can assure you, in the words of my esteemed colleague, Mr. Mark Twain, the reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated. Now that is settled, still many quizzical faces, but again, I know why. Now you're wondering, why would such a renowned author come to our little church all the way from the East Coast? Good question. And the answer is Velveeta Dibbs. Do you all know her? Velveeta Dibbs, the waitress at the Waffle House. And many of you will remember, I'm sure many of you were here, the time last September when she was the guest speaker here, and she preached to us about the gospel of the waffle. Well, I too was here. You probably didn't recognize me. I came incognito because I did not want to upstage Miss Dibbs, did not want to steal her thunder, so to speak, and but I did want to see her because I am a great admirer of Velveeta Dibbs, and she is the reason I am speaking to you today. She is my inspiration for being here. Okay, finally, with all that out of the way, the title of my message this morning is Make Your Depression Work for You. Now, surely you have heard that I am no stranger to depression. Indeed, my depression goes on record as among the worst in history. But all of you must suffer some degree of depression, at least occasionally. Even the happiest of people cannot be happy all the time. And so what I have learned regarding dealing with the depression in my life will surely have applicability to your life. Are you all in agreement? If anyone is not, think hard, very hard, and then you'll see that I'm right. Now, most of the depression in my life stems from death. And I envision that particular brand of depression by its sound. Yes, the sound of the bells. Hear the tolling of the bells, iron bells. What a world of solemn thought their monody compels. In the stillness of the night, how we shiver with affright at the melancholy menace of their tone. For every sound that floats from the rust within their throats is a groan. And the people, the people, they that dwell up in the steeple all alone, and who tolling, tolling, tolling in that muffled monotone, feel a glory in so rolling on the human heart a stone. They are neither man nor woman. They are neither brute nor human. They are ghouls. And their king it is who tolls as he rolls, 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 rolls a paean from the bells. And his merry bosom swells with the paean of the bells, and he dances and he yells, keeping time, time, time in a sort of runic rhyme to the paean of the bells, keeping time, time, time in a sort of runic rhyme to the throbbing of the bells, 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 to the sobbing of the bells, keeping time, 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 as he knells, 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 in a happy runic rhyme to the rolling of the bells, 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 to the tolling of the bells, 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 to the moaning and the groaning of the bells. How familiar I am with death. The deaths of virtually all the beloved women in my life, most of them from tuberculosis. Starting with my own sweet mother, who died when I was but a small lad. Some years after my father had abandoned us both, another reason for depression. I did at that point have a stroke of fortune, for rather than being sent to an orphanage, no doubt you've heard accounts of how horrible orphanages were back then from another colleague of mine, Mr. Charles Dickens. I was instead taken in by a foster family, the Allens. It is they who gave me my middle name. I was not born as Edgar Allan Poe. That came later. But I was not so terribly fortunate in that the Allens never adopted me. They mostly just provided meals and a roof over my head. I did feel a strong degree of love from and for my stepmother. But she too passed away while I was still young. And my stepfather, oh, he really did not like me. He was only looking to get rid of me. And then there were a series of women that I loved. They all died. But they still served as inspirations for women in my stories. I changed their names to become Lenore, Eulalie, Tamerlane, Eleonora, Annabel Lee. Long ago, I once stated that the death then of a beautiful woman is unquestionably the most poetical topic in the world. Finally, I found true happiness in my dear, sweet Virginia. And we were wed. Ah, such bliss. I envision that bliss by, again, the sound of the bells. Hear the mellow wedding bells, golden bells. What a world of happiness their harmony foretells. Through the balmy air of night, how they ring out their delight from the molten golden notes and all in tune. What a liquid ditty floats to the turtle dove who listens while she gloats on the moon. Oh, from out the sounding cells, what a gush of euphony voluminously wells, how it swells, how it dwells on the future, how it tells of the rapture it impels to the swinging and the singing of the bells, bells, bells. Of the bells, 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 to the rhyming and the chiming of the bells. Such a glorious day, our wedding day. I still remember it as if it were yesterday. I was just 27 years old. Virginia was 13. What, do some of you think that that was not proper? It's not as if we barely knew each other. I assure you, our marriage was quite proper. We had known each other for many years before we wed. After all, we were first cousins. But when Virginia died 11 years later, that was the biggest blow, the most horrifying tragedy of my entire life. I thought that I would die myself, but I did not. I remained alive to this day, as you can plainly see. Yes, my life has indeed been filled with misfortune and tragedy. No wonder I've been so terribly depressed. And as if that were not bad enough, there was even a song that sounded like it was actually celebrating my misfortune. You know, the song by that Lennon fellow, it was about some animal. Was it a raven? No, it was about a walrus, yes. Man, you should have seen them kicking Edgar Allan Poe. Really, Mr. Lennon, did you have to sound so damn happy about it? And yet, there was a silver lining to misfortune, tragedy, and depression. Through depression, we feel deeply. And that feeling is part of what makes us alive, what makes us human. Think of how shallow life would be if all we ever did was to experience pleasure. Not that I would turn down such an opportunity, but a life with some degree of misfortune, tragedy, depression. Now that is a real life, the life of a real human being. And do we not need some depression in our lives to better appreciate happiness? A loss can often lead to a gain that we would not have seen if not for the loss. Like the darkness of the night, when we lose the sunlight. But then we find all the nighttime stars, such beautiful stars that we never would have seen if not for loss of the sunlight. I need to credit that idea from my friend Angie. Is she here today? She said she was coming, but she did give me that idea. And for that, I thank her. And what is the effect of misfortune, tragedy, any adversity? Does it not make us stronger? The finest steel has to go through the hottest fire. I was wondering who said that quote, so I looked it up. The answer may surprise you, as it did me. It was Richard Milhous Nixon. Yes, President Richard, I am not a crook, Nixon. But basically, he was just paraphrasing an ancient Chinese proverb. So, when it comes to dealing with depression, your depression, the real question before you is this: what are you going to do about it? You have a choice. You could wallow in self-pity. Oh, poor me. Woe is me. I am a victim, a pitiful victim. Everyone look upon me with pity. Or you could do something constructive. You could make your depression work for you. Look at my life, for example, with all its adversity, all its depression. What did I do about it? Did I spend my life begging for pity, begging for money, begging for recognition? No, I did not. I took the bull of my depression by the horns, and I worked it into my talent for writing. And in doing so, I commanded recognition. I commanded respect. I commanded a unique identity. I became an author who, due to my unique understanding of depression, stood out from the crowd of anonymous authors. And I commanded a career, a financial career, as a writer who actually made a living from my writing. True, it was not a terribly lucrative career, but we all know that money isn't everything. I earned enough money as a writer to wed the love of my life, to enjoy a blissful marriage in spite of all the adversity, for a while at least. Many of you could do something similar. If you are a writer, write about whatever depression you have in your life. If you're an artist, express your depression in your art. The same goes for a musician. a composer of music, a dancer, an actor, a comedian, a clown. And it doesn't have to be limited to entertainment. You can use your depression in any activity where you are helping others. If you are a nurse, a physician, a psychotherapist, help your patients more deeply, more thoroughly by sharing your depression with them. And if you are a teacher, a professor, mentor, lecturer, pastor, any type of educator, do that for your pupils, your apprentice, your audience, your congregation. And it need not be for your career, your vocation. It could be for your avocation, your hobbies. If you're an amateur writer, amateur artist, musician, a volunteer psychotherapist, or volunteer Sunday school teacher, you can still do the same. And it need not even be for your hobbies. You can tell others about your depression to help them just in your daily life. As a neighbor, as a friend, as a parent. Or maybe your reach goes further. You could be a protester, a political activist, an advocate for causes to make the world a better place. Your depression about the condition of the world will serve you in these endeavors. And you can even use your depression just for yourself. Using my depression in my writing, I also commanded an outlet for expressing myself, for expressing my creativity and imagination, for expressing my soul. What satisfaction I achieved writing fascinating, depressing stories. Yes, there are many ways that you can make your depression work for you. I did it through depressing stories. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, rapping at my chamber door. "Only this, and nothing more." Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow. Sorrow for the lost Lenore, for that rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never known before. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently, my soul grew stronger. Hesitating then no longer, "Sir," I said, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping when so gently you came rapping, when so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token. And the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore?" This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore!" Merely this, and nothing more. Thank you. And then to add to the story, I introduce this fellow, friend of mine. I think you all know what his name is. I asked him his name, and he answered by saying the only word he knows how to say, which is nevermore. That is his name. A depressing name, is it not? Some think that he must be some kind of magical, imaginary raven with a supernatural power to speak a human word. But that is not so. He is just an ordinary raven, and ordinary ravens are similar to parrots in that they can be taught to speak human words, even when they often have no idea what the words mean. This poor fellow was only taught a single word. That is all he can say, nevermore. And what a word. So this raven is very real, not imaginary. And what role does he play in my story? He is the hope crusher. Yes, we all have ravens in our lives, do we not? I'm sure you can think of people who tell us to give up hope. No, you cannot do that. No, that is not possible. You see, another silver lining of depression is hope. Depression motivates us to create a better life for ourselves, for our loved ones, for our world. In the end, our depression motivates us to find ways to end our depression. What hope does the narrator of my story have? He has hope for respite, blessed respite, relief and escape from our wretched, miserable lives. He has hope to receive nepenthe, that wondrous elixir nepenthe. For when we quaff nepenthe, we forget all our horrible memories. Hope to find the balm in Gilead, that legendary balm in Gilead that can soothe even the most unbearable pain. Hope to reach that distant Eden, that distant Garden of Eden from whence came Adam and Eve, and back to which we hope to return one day. And when we do, we hope to find at last all the joy and happiness that we could not find in life. Yes, my friends, we always have hope. But alas, that may be all we have. Nothing but hope. And so my story about the raven becomes a tale of hope. Hope that, sadly, depressingly, will be crushed by a raven who at this point is perched up on the bust of Pallas above my chamber door, and who doesn't even understand what he is doing. Then, methought, the air grew denser, perfumed by some unseen censer, swung by seraphim, whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite, and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, in this home by horror haunted. Tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil. Prophet still, if bird or devil, by the heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore. Tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aidenn it shall find a sainted maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Find a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Oh. Found it. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul has spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming. And the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow to the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Thank you. Perhaps my story does not offer a great deal of hope after all. But never mind that. The important question is, did I make my depression work for me? And even more importantly, will you make your depression work for you? Thank you.
You know, I try to choose songs that fit the theme, but I didn't know what to sing today. Honestly, I did not know, but hearing Mr. Poe, I thought of this song. It's about gratitude. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life. Each precious day is a gift to me. I can hardly believe the beauty I see. Try that with me. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life. Each precious day is a gift to me, and I can hardly believe the beauty I see. Thank you for my suffering and the wholeness that it brings. Thank you for the trees in spring, for their budding and flowering. Thank you for my frustration, my succumbing to temptation, for my growth and the lack thereof that lets me know I'm made of love. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my lonely life. Each precious day is a gift to me, and I can hardly believe the beauty I see. Thank you for the lessons unending, for the power of surrendering, for boredom and waiting to be free. Thank you for creating this for me. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life. Each precious day is a gift to me, and I can hardly believe the beauty I see. I can hardly believe the beauty I see. Thank you.
Okay, now we have the opportunity to share with Poe or Bradley. I don't know who it's going to be up here, but we're going to invite you back up to have a seat. I know when Velveeta was here, Velveeta had to decide who they were going to be. So you probably have the same decision, whether you're going to be Bradley or Poe here. Okay, depend on the question. Okay. Here's you get this. So this is called community sharing. So you get an opportunity to share a bit or ask a question to either Bradley or Poe.
Two questions for Mr. Poe. Your friend, by the way, is he from Baltimore?
Are you talking about the Raven?
Yeah. For some odd reason, when I was in Baltimore, I saw a bunch of ravens, and I was wondering if there was any.
You know, the city is unspecified. That is, it is after all work of fiction, so you can imagine it in any city you want.
The more daring question, you seem to be one of literacy.
I seem to be what?
Literate, quite literate, as well
Well, I
as.
better be if I'm an author.
And that seems to have been a rare occurrence during the period of your birth. And even now, there is a great deal of illiteracy or semi-literacy. Some of it has to do with the fact that we take upon our fearless leader. And I'm wondering specifically how, I guess you could say, not just your literacy, but your lyricism has delivered you from depression. Or has it more or less sunk you back deeper into that, if there is that thing?
It's a rather complicated question. Could you maybe break it down into parts?
Well, being the writer that you are, and being the quote unquote, the work that you have more or less, done with, there's that quality where it's not just highly intelligent, but it's also lyrical. And I'm wondering, since the object or the topic was how to make your depression work for you, did literacy at all your being literate at all play a role in your solving or addressing that depression or coming to grips with doctoring that depression, if at all?
Well, definitely. I tried to make that point in a number of ways. My writing, based on my literacy, used my depression. I used my experiences. I used my understanding of depression. I used the emotions, the feelings that it gave me. I used that in my work. And by doing that, I gained recognition. I gained renown. I gained respect for myself. I gained an income. I was able to support myself and a wife. I gained a sense of expression. I gained a unique identity.
Thank you. Thank you. Joseph?
Yes. I remember, as you were speaking, I'm a chaplain, hospital, and there was a patient who had a peculiar illness. His foot was very, very itchy, all his 2 feet, and it was an unusual problem that the doctors did not know how to deal with. But it was very itchy, very red, swollen, and he was in hospital, discouraged and getting depressed about it for days. And he was a cartoonist by profession. So one day I visited him, and he was explaining what his situation was, and he looked very sad and depressed. And I told him, I want to challenge you with something as a cartoonist. Can you, while you're in hospital, write a cartoon or prepare a cartoon and call it The Itch? Call it The Itch. That's the title I want you to call it. And he eventually did create a cartoon while he was a patient called The Itch, and that changed his life. Yeah, because he was able to create a lot of laughter in the unit and everything, and that change of attitude and concern for and love for his cartoon that he did while he was there in hospital, that changed his life. But I wanted to ask a question opposite to that. We want to make our depression work for us. Yes, that is good. Out of darkness comes light. Do you also feel that it is out of joy that we get grief? How do we deal with our joy? How do we deal with our good times?
Oh, I never had any problem dealing with what little joy I could find. I just enjoyed it. It's the hard times, the depressing times, the pain. That's what's difficult to deal with.
All right, Marty?
And depression often comes from the lack of joy.
You inspired me, Edgar.
Thank
and
you.
I just wrote a poem. I'm a poet too. It's from Edgar Allan Poe. The smells from hell's Trump smells. Satan tolls his evil bells. Hell's bells. Snake president with scales, lies and tails, rattlesnake poison tails. The world cries and wails. American shit smells. Hell's bells, nevermore.
I'm honored to have inspired that.
Mr. Poe, I'm not sure if you know the renowned Paul Zollo, but
I do.
yeah, I used to
You wrote a
occasionally.
song about me.
I used to occasionally sing with him on stage. I would come up and sing the harmony parts in Baltimore, which was about your untimely passing, which is quite mysterious. And one of the things Paul always mentioned was that he was found wearing another man's clothes. And I wonder if you have any insights into that that you'd care to admit to.
Well, none that I care to admit to, but I will say that I have put together a variety show. Instead of just performing alone, I have a show. Originally, there were 3 of us in the show. One of them was Mr. Zollo. Paul Zollo appeared in the show and sang that very song in the show. Since then, the show has expanded. Now we have about a dozen people in the show. We have a full orchestra on stage. We have singers. We have dancers. And I hope you can all get to see that show sometime.
All right, Daria?
Oh.
I just wanted to thank you because I really liked what you said about how working with depression is often mitigated through action and through doing. And I know that whenever I have moments of depression or I just don't feel connected to myself, the minute I take action and start doing things, poof, gone. So thank you.
Great. Well, thank you for being an example. I, too, found that when I took my depression and I did something with it, I didn't feel nearly as depressed anymore.
Mr. Poe, you share a birth year with another famous depressive leader in our country, Abraham Lincoln. Did you ever meet?
No, I did not have the pleasure of meeting him. I did admire many of the things he did.
Well, we want to thank you so much. Oh, one more.
Hello, Mr. Poe. I have seen you perform before with your orchestra, and I love it at the Beyond Baroque. That is why I came to this church today.
Thank you.
My question for you, as I've really enjoyed reading your work my whole life, and I've felt very close to your writings, if you do deal with depression like you have so much throughout your life, and it does teach you to find those silver linings and to feel that extreme joy because of the lack thereof in your daily life, I wonder how you would maybe go about talking to another person about that. But because I've struggled with it for so long, sometimes when I do speak with people, I feel very disconnected from them because I feel when they speak poorly about their own thoughts in life, I think to myself, you can overcome that. You can push past that. So I'm kind of wondering maybe what would be your words to share with another person going through something similar like that when they are trying to start to do that in their life. Because I feel like when I do approach people in that sense, I can come off a little bit harsh, saying things like, you know, you should have to push through it. And it is something that is an intrinsic part of life.
Yes, well, I'm glad that you're doing that. And what I would say to someone who's depressed would be very much along the lines of what I just said to all of you, except, of course, that I would tailor it specifically to be more applicable to that person, using their examples. And as far as being harsh, think carefully about your words. As an author, I can tell you that every single word in my writings that you read, a great deal of thought and intention was behind each word. I never would just write and say, oh, good enough, oh, print it. No, I thought carefully about each word. And that goes with any important speech or writing. When you're talking to someone who needs help, that is important. Think carefully about what you say and how it will be received. It takes two people to communicate, one to express an idea and the other to understand it. And the real challenge in being a good communicator is to think about how your words are sounding to the other person, to the recipient.
Thank you. So we want to thank you so much, Dr. Edgar Allan Poe. Thank you.
I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. And what the Spirit says do, I'm gonna do, Lord, Lord. I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. And what the Spirit says do, I'm gonna do, Lord, Lord. I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move when the Spirit says move. I'm gonna move when the Spirit says move. And when the Spirit says move, I'm gonna move, Lord, Lord. I'm gonna move when the Spirit says move. I'm gonna write. I'm gonna write what the Spirit says write. I'm gonna write what the Spirit says write. And what the Spirit says write, I'm gonna write, Lord, Lord. I'm gonna write what the Spirit says write. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. And what the Spirit says do, I'm gonna do, Lord, Lord. I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. And what the Spirit says do, I'm gonna do, Lord, Lord. I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here to do my routine asking, but just think, it's nice to see different faces and new people here today. You got this for free. Thank you, Dr. Poe. But this is a chance to share your money to help keep this place alive and going and vital and doing things like we did today. And like the richness of things that we do every Sunday and throughout the week and throughout the year. So this QR code, you can do this electronically, or traditionally you can put things in the basket or the bucket. So thank you very much.
Money, 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 money. Money. Money, 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 money. Money, money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Whoa, money, money, money. Oh, I want some money. Money, 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 money. Money, money, money. Nobody else wants money here? Come on. Money, 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 money. I want some money. Money, 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 money. We want some money. Money, 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 money. We want some money. Money, 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 money.
All
We
right.
want some money. Woo!
It's time for Izzy. Come on up, Izzy.
Let's make a circle. Make a circle. Let's make a circle. Make a circle. Let's make a circle. Make a circle. Let's make a circle. Make a circle in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, in 1.
Thank you to Izzy. We're in a circle. All right. This is our joys and concerns circle. So if you have a joy or concern.
Louise was thinking about his song. One of the great things about Church in Ocean Park is that we can do all different kinds of music. End us up with Under the Boardwalk. Yeah, let's have some fun. That's one of the joys of Church in Ocean Park. You just never know what kind of music you are going to hear. So she's got that going on. So, and please give a big hand to Louise Dobbs, our music director. Love her. All right, here we go.
Oh, when the sun beats down and burns the tar up off the roof, and your shoes get so hot you wish your feet would fireproof. Come on, everybody. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea. Under the boardwalk, out of the sun. Under the boardwalk, we'll be having some fun. Under the boardwalk, we'll be walking above. Under the boardwalk, we'll be falling in love. Under the boardwalk, boardwalk. From the park you hear the happy sounds of the carousel. You can almost taste the hot dogs and French fries they sell. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah. On a blanket with my baby is where I'll be. Under the boardwalk, boardwalk, we'll be having some fun. Under the boardwalk, people walking above. Under the boardwalk, we'll be making love. Under the boardwalk, boardwalk. Woo! Thank you.
And now we say together, carry on to the count of 3. We lift our arms and say together, 1, 2, 3,
carry on!